The baddest DJ this side of town. Mixing the heat.
Ladies and gentlemen,
DJ Disspare.
What up, what up, what up? We have BOSSALENA in the building. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going? Sorry about that, but yeah, I'm good.
Hey, man, this is live streaming. We all good. Everything happens.
Yeah, feel me? I'm good. How you doing? Thank you for having me. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for having me.
Oh, shout out to Triple P. You know, everything is good. I'm happy to have you in the building.
Already. You know, yeah, I know Triple P Management, Sarah, my manager, but busy. So I'm sure you probably had a whole lineup of, you know what I mean, of the family on the show. So, you know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that's already, you know, touched the mic, hit the stick and did an interview with you, you know.
Oh, man, it's been good. It's been good.
Keeping you busy.
I want to speak to the boss lady of the game now. So, you know what I mean? So, what's good?
It's my time now.
All right. So, female Don, what's going on with this? Like, you know, like, where you hail from?
Man, originally I come from Compton, California. And then, but my family's from Texas. So I moved to Antonio, Texas, like 6 years ago. My family here, you know, personal family things. So that's why I moved here. And then I continued my series. I've been doing this series now for at least like 10 years. So I decided that it was one of those projects that kind of stood out that a lot of people noticed from me. So I continued to make it a collection series because I got so much feedback from the first project. And over the years, I've just continued to keep the project because a lot of people know me from the Female Don projects and release parties and stuff like that. So this Female Don Volume 10 is the last project of this year. I would no longer do no more Female Don series anymore. Number 10.
Jeez.
So
you did 10. That's what I gotta say, man, because I caught the first ones and I was excited. I was just like, BOSSALENA, like, what? I go, yo, you were like literally one of the most underrated in the games. I have to give you like your props for keeping yourself where you are. You know, we gonna get into this. Like you got a magazine thing, you got drinks, you're a weed connoisseur. Yo, jack of all trades. So
you already know exactly. You know what I mean? And being a female artist, I was just thinking about that today. You know what I mean? It's just like you said, you know, a lot of people, they're in this music business, but they really don't give the respect to the people that actually deserve the respect. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to say that for real. You know, yeah, a lot of people are pretty good. Yeah, you can be talented. Yes, a lot of people are talented, but you don't have the business. You don't have a lot of things. You know what I mean? So it feels like, so I was just thinking about that today. I just feel like, you know, being a female Don and being a boss, that is what I represent. Everybody knows me for that. A lot of people understand and say, boss, you about your business, you about your grind. So it's kind of interesting because I never see no other females like me. So for people that are...
Sorry, I had to give you that. I had to give you that.
Females with their CDs on tap. I don't see no females with their USBs on point. I don't see no females coming to the shows with their merch. No females, you know what I mean? Coming with the type, like putting the grind in, very talented and got good music and nothing. They come in there and they rapping and, you know, it's like no one. So how are you going to compare me to other females if you're not even in the game? This is a music business. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the music business. I don't rap.
Hey, most people think showing the titties and everything, is just what gets you where you are, you know?
Product, where's your brand? What are you?
You see, a lot of people don't realize that they're the brand. And, you know, and then you've done a lot in the mix, like from these, you dropped 10. Like, you know, you've kept yourself relevant in your own lane. You're not out there, even though you're in the competing lane, but you're not, because you're not putting yourself in that. You know what I mean? You're just being you.
That's a good way to put it. I mean, you're right. I'm in my own lane. You know what I mean? I just focus on, you know, just being a female entrepreneur, and hopefully other females will understand and take this route and get all their, you know, stuff together as being an artist as well. You know, so and stepping out the box too. You know what I mean? You got to step out the box also.
And speaking about stepping out of the box, you got your own drink?
Yes.
So what is this? Like, what kind of drink is this?
It's a peach soda. So It's a regular peach carbonated soda. No, no THC in it. It's just regular soda. I
Oh,
wanted to do something for all ages. You know what I mean? So that way I could be able to get kids. I have a lot of nieces and nephews and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I have a lot of nieces, nephews, and cousins that support my music. So you know what I mean? I really tried to stay more all age, all gender based. All age, genders, everything. So I went with peach soda. I like
nice.
peach.
Yeah, I love peach soda, man. Like when I saw it, I was just like, "Yo, this is nice." I
I
wish
know
we
I
could
got
get this out here. But
to get some sent out to you. You know what I mean? Yeah.
so, will you end up putting any weed in it later and having a weed line?
No, probably not.
Okay.
Probably. I'm not really. I'd rather have my own strand of flowers more than a drink or anything like that. But I mean, I had an opportunity to try to get up with a brand that has a CBD infused, but that's how I ended up with this. You know what I mean? I ended up in that contest. I didn't win that contest, so I didn't win that soda. So I didn't get to win my own CBD soda. So then I end up a couple months later, I end up running into this gentleman that
Nice.
big splash beverage. Shout out to Big D Tank. You know what I mean? Big Tank D from San Antonio. Big Splash beverage company, soda company, and they actually have other artists, other local artists that have their own flavors also in the city. You know what I mean? So you can get different flavors and check out different flavors from other artists in the city as well.
Nice. And you said if you want your own strain, what kind of weed would you want it to do? Like, how would you want it to affect people?
It'll probably be I don't know, it'll probably be the BOSSALENA OG, you know what I mean? I'll probably BOSSALENA OG, you know what I mean? That'll probably be my first strand. There's no way that you can't just, put extras on the brand, you know what I mean? So BOSSALENA OG would be my first strand that I would love to create.
So does Bossalina have her own camp, like her own artists underneath her?
I don't have my own actual artist per se. I used to work with artists and I used to mold, develop, and help artists over time, but I've stopped doing that. So I don't actually have any artists that I'm actually working with hand in hand like that. You know what I mean? I might help a couple artists here and there. I got some cousins that do some music. I might, help them out here and there. No, I don't have any artists, but I do have a team. You know what I mean? I got a camp, but they have their own things going on.
And how important is that to you? Like, having like people like that actually want to ride with you and work with you.
I love it. You know what I mean? I mean, I've been around them my whole life, so to me, it doesn't feel any different. You know what I mean? I've been knowing some of them since maybe like elementary school. So we've always been friends before we were music artists, and a camp and a team. We're kind of family, so we don't really see it like that. You know what I mean? So it's a family, and I love it. When everybody could come out and we all could get connected. It's not a party. You feel?
So, where are you right now? Compton? Or
No,
you're in.
I'm in San Antonio, Texas right now.
Oh, you're in Texas right now. So being like, I guess being a female artist out there is not that hard because there's a lot of them that come out of there.
Right. Well, I mean, at a Compton.
No, like I'm talking about Texas and stuff. Like
what a lot of artists that come out of Texas.
Like a female artist. Like, is there a lot? Like, okay, let me rephrase that.
No, not really. It's not a lot. You know what I mean? I mean, there's. You know what I mean? Yes, there's probably a lot of artists that do it, but are they really serious? Are they really doing it? Do they really, so it's really kind of hard.
See, that's where I wanted to see where you're gonna go with it. I like that. I like that. I like that.
I mean, so there's a couple that that's consistent and steady with their grind. You know what I mean? I mean, it's really hard to say if you're not consistent and steady with your grind year after year. I mean, do I count you if you come out once every 5 years? You know what I mean? So I don't really.
And that's and how's the importance of that of being consistent? Like, like I know you're very consistent.
I mean, I guess in the beginning when, like at first, I guess it seemed like it made sense to be consistent. You know what I mean? For example, when Lil Wayne came out and started doing all those songs and mixtapes and just start dropping like crazy. And then, you know, it's like he was probably, I think he was the only artist to ever win a Grammy without dropping an album.
Yep.
Like so consistent, you know what I mean? So at that time and that era, I guess it was important to be consistent, but now that we're in the game that we're at now, I guess it doesn't really technically matter about your consistency. I mean, it does, but it's not as important as it used to be.
I like that. I like that. So like, so with social media and everything, how does like, you know, how do you feel on that? Like, how does that work for you? Like, do you even care? Do you even like, is this things just brand just to you, or you just focused on like your brand and you don't care what's going on in there? Like, are you caught up in that?
I mean, yes, of course, you know, I'm a technology baby, you know what I mean? You know, so to me, I've always been into computers, technology, you know, all the socials, all that stuff, you know what I mean? I'm not as actively on it as I used to be actively on it. Is there a difference? I mean, I guess it depends on how you look at it. You know what I mean? I just tap into different areas now when I'm in, you know what I mean? Just trying different sites, different avenues, different promotion, different marketing, you know, just trying different stuff like that. So, I mean, it's always needed. You're always going to need it because that's where all your information is. That's where all your, you know, so to me, the transition, I've already always was already connected with the computers and social, you know what I mean? So since MySpace, I was always killing, you know what I mean? MySpace, man.
We were having to talk about that today.
I was really like, man, I was doing it on MySpace.
You
so
know what's
like,
funny? That's where I saw you, because a lot of you guys came out on MySpace.
Man, I was
in the music section, and there was a whole bunch of us just in that music room. And
bro, I love I think the only thing that messed up everything. MySpace was doper because you can interact with artists from around the world. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So that's how I was able to do music with people in Germany. So nowadays, people are like, "Oh, how you got a song with people in Germany?" Man, MySpace used to be so poppin'. From Germany, France, you know, so that's kind of what like really kind of put me on the map with the social grind and promotion, and you know, getting people behind you and promoting your stuff, and people get people behind you. That's where you learn how to get the fans and the people actually behind you to follow you, to push you, to put your comments in, and you know what I mean. So to me, it's just normal. You know what I mean. So to me, all this stuff is just normal. Just know your niche in the game. That's all.
I'm glad that I got to say that with you, because I've known that because you've done the mixtape thing, you've done all that stuff, so you were always on those sites. Because every time I dropped a mixtape, I would see you, and you know, it's just like, are you on somebody's mixtape, or you got a mixtape, or you're just something like you were always working, like, and that's why I like the family. Like now that I'm getting to know the family, I've known a lot of y'all from the mixtape game.
Right.
And you know, and a lot of people now are not understanding that MySpace played a lot of role in what we are doing to this day. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like before Facebook and Instagram, MySpace made a big fucking role for us because it put things out there in perspective. Like you were talking to people that you didn't even like. Most people weren't even caring about it, and the people that actually was really on it was just computer geeks that was just trying to learn.
What's crazy about MySpace is I heard of MySpace probably like years before MySpace actually went more like public for everybody in the world, because I was school for music. Like some people at the school that I went to was always telling me like it's a music artist. It's for music artists. So I used to always be like, oh, okay, whatever. But a lot of Black culture wasn't on there at the time. It wasn't like that, and people like that. It was more like rock bands and stuff like that. So that's why I never really got on it. And then like over time, I said, let me get onto it, because some of the boys I went to school with, so I got on it. Then over time, when I went on there, it was for musicians. Facebook is not for musicians.
Right.
They had a player or something, like you could.
Yeah, you could load your music and stuff.
Yeah, so you could go on there and listen to all kinds of songs that you had. Like
when you went to the profile, you could listen to their music.
Yeah, like it
and that was like Facebook is not even like that. You can't even click on something like that. Like, and then now you got Instagram limiting you from doing that. It doesn't make sense.
Right. So that's where I was like, okay, this is kind of like different. So I really don't really trip off of off of Facebook, because it was never really a musical site for people. I never read it. off of Facebook like that because I don't know, like it wasn't really meant for that. So I usually try to find sites that are solely based about music. And I usually just try to tap in. And that's probably why it's easier for a lot of people to see my name because I'm always into actual music sites that actually cater to the musicians.
Yep. Reverbination.
Oh yeah, I used to be on Reverb. I was just thinking about Reverb because I was like, Reverb used to be super dope. Like I used to go on YouTube and I used to watch stuff on YouTube and my banners will pop up. Like if you were really like dope and you did your stuff on Reverb, like your ads were already popping up on other stuff before all of this stuff was even going.
Man, I was charted on Reverb without even doing anything.
Bro, because they
it was like,
promoted you. They promoted you though. They did their job as a site, as a music site. They were always, you know, putting people out there. So that's what got, you know, I don't know. I just feel like, you know, people just got away from, you know, a lot of that. You know what I mean?
Hey, when things went like like your song says right here, Can't Stop.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, give me like, give me a little bit about the song before we go in and give a little introduction about it.
I just feel like, you know, I mean, as any artist should, you know what I mean? I always feel like, you know, I'm one of those type of artists that have that little niche, can make a hit, can make something that really pop. And sometimes, you know, I get personal with it and I feel like the things that I do that I feel you can't stop me. You know, there's a lot of things that people, as an artist, they let a lot of little things stop them. You know what I mean? Stop them from prospering or stop them from getting to the next step. But for me, I feel like I'm so focused and I'm so in my zone. I'm just like, so there's no way that you can stop my wave. Like there's no way you can stop my mission, my plan, my goal, my nothing, anything, nothing. You can't. There's nobody on the planet that can ever walk up to me and say anything to me and think, hey, BOSSALENA, I think you should never. So that's kind of like the, you know, the meaning of that song that made me come up with that song because I'm really like, you know, you won't be able to stop me. Like,
all right.
It's about to go down. This is a DJ Disspare exclusive.
You can't stop my wave. You can't stop my wave. You can't stop my wave now. You can't stop my wave now. You can't stop me, why try? Yes, I'm smoking wine loud. On them haters flow by. Boss, I do this for life. You can't stop my wave. You can't stop my wave. You can't stop my wave now. You can't stop my wave now. You can't stop me, why try? Yes, I'm smoking wine loud. On them haters flow by. Boss, I do this for life. Drippin' so on, can't hate on the boss. My grind so sauce, can't ride my wave. I know a lot of haters from around the way. I know a lot of haters gon' hate every day. I get to the money, I spend it on the game. I'm working 9 to 5, I put it in the bank. I got my own merch, got my own stew, got my own gang, I got my own thing. Stay focused on the prize, don't stand around me. Don't fuck up my vibe, don't lean on me. Got out my camera, I charge you a fee. Can't ride my wave, can't float like me. This is mine before life. Bitch, I'm Cali till I die. Yes, that legend has arrived. I see you as a small fry. You can't stop my wave. You can't stop my wave. You can't stop my wave now. You can't stop my wave now. You can't stop me, why try? Yes, I'm smoking wine loud. On them haters flow by. Boss, I do this for life. You can't stop my wave. You can't stop my wave. You can't stop my wave now. You can't stop my wave now. You can't stop me, why try? Yes, I'm smoking wine loud. On them haters flow by. Boss, I do this
hey.
It just wants to make me just go ride around on the whip and smoke a joint. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's like one of those songs I just don't even care, man. I just want to roll around
Right.
like, just stare at niggas.
Yeah.
Because I was listening to it earlier and I was just feeling mean mugged. Like I wanted to just go out and just ride around and just like look at it, the bass, everything. It just bumps. Like, you know what I mean? It's got that.
Yeah.
You got that South and West Coast flow together. I love it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I was able to kind of, you know, mix the two just from, you know, traveling both states my whole life. You know what I'm saying? So I would probably spend half the time in Texas and half my time in Cali, my whole life. So I've always spent 4 or 5 months in Texas and I go back to Cali then, you know what I mean?
So how's that? Like, I love that because I do the same thing within here in Winnipeg because Winnipeg is like the West Coast and Toronto's the East Coast. So I spend time back and forth the same way. You know what I mean? Like,
it's draining. It's draining, but it's draining.
But it's cultural though. Like you get that different vibes every time.
Yes, I always like that part of it. You know what I mean? I mean, I feel like sometimes you got to get away, from.
So being a female artist in Compton, how's that? Is it like, do you have any troubles in the scene in the clubs? Are you bodying them niggas? Like what?
I mean, it's not necessarily just, just being a rapper from Compton. I mean, just because you're from there doesn't mean that you're not in LA or, other cities. So I created a Southern California tour. So I did probably 50 cities in Cali. So you feel me? I don't know. I just perform and do so many cities and just different vibes, different people, different area, different cultures. So to me, Cali is really dope because it's a melting pot. You know what I mean? So growing up with so many different type of cultures and different type of people, it's really dope. And when you grow up with it like that, you don't really understand the difference until you travel other places and you notice that they don't have the cultures and some of your friends or, like I grew up with a friend from Pakistan my whole life. You feel me? But then when you come to Texas, some of these people never probably even have a friend from the Middle East. You know what I mean? Like I grew up with one of my best friends.
Oh man, I know a lot of guys from Texas and stuff like that. They can't even talk to them. So it's just
and then I came out here one time and I was like, whoa, you don't have any Pacific Islanders? And they looked at me like, what is that? And I'm like, whoa, like, okay, this is different. Like, you know what I mean? Because we're just so diverse with the cultures over there. Like some people say that they're really diverse with the cultures. Maybe Miami would probably be the closest, but Cali has so many. I mean, it was so many friends that I didn't even know what cultures they were. You know what I mean? I've never even heard of some of them. You feel me? Some of these people, my friends, are from Cambodia, and I didn't even know what a Cambodian was.
Because you know what it is. A lot of people always see Compton, LA, they a little bit of Cali, here and there, but they never really get to see the real insides. Because then you get some of the shows where you see the bougie side, and then you see the hood side. But you never see the in between. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like if you put yourself in that box, that's what you're always going to see. You know what I mean? I've always been outside my box, so I've always been around everywhere. You know what I mean? So to me, it was just, I never really was one of those that just stuck in the box into the hood stuff. You know what I mean? I was always in all types of music, all type of venues, all type of cities, all type of places. I've been booked by
magazines.
Yes. Never know. You know what I mean?
So. Sorry I cut you there. Okay, so
you good.
So this right here. Explain this to me. Explain the whole movement around this. You got you got an episode. You got how did you get into this? I know you do the music thing.
Okay, so so one of my big sisters in California, she runs a magazine, so I've always been tapped with magazines, you know what I mean? So I've always been connected and tied with magazines because I don't know, I've always liked magazines. I guess as a kid growing up, I used to buy all the the magazines and stuff like that. Yeah. Collect them, and I think still to this day, I probably still have pictures that I've took out from those magazines, and I used to put them all on my wall. Like I used to put the artists. I mean, I still have some of those that I've collected.
I still got my classics with the big E on the cover and stuff like that. Yeah, the Michael Jackson edition. Still got that one.
Of course. So magazines are a very big part of hip hop to me, and it's just like any other major big thing for any musician. You know what I mean? So I've always wanted to. I've been inside magazines, but I've never been on the cover of a magazine. You know what I mean? It's a little difference, but. So I really made it my goal that when I do this Female Dawn Volume 10, I'm going big, so I'm the magazine, I'm gonna do everything, so that's kind of where that idea came from for me to get on the front of this magazine, which is a local magazine ran by a female DJ in the city. Her name is DJ Baby Blue Diamond. Mm-hmm. She runs a radio show, and this magazine is connected to her radio. So that's why it's called U3 Radio, but it's Radio magazine. So she does. She's a dope businesswoman. She does a little bit of everything, but that's her magazine. I connected with her. I was able to get the front cover of her magazine on the Texas edition. And yeah, so I was excited to be able to put that out. Shout out to Stilo Jordan for the photo shoot for the magazine. So it's pretty dope.
Man, cause like, here, let me give everybody a better view of this. Like, so it's like, when I saw this, I was like, yo, this is dope, because I've been that path too, because I fucks my family, overtime hustling, and and stuff, and then we got the podcast too that's attached to it. And saying it and everything. It's like, I see a lot of people don't understand the importance of having consistent advertising, whether it's physical or digital,
Right.
because a lot of people didn't grow up in the physical era,
Right.
and a lot of people don't know what it's like to actually put out an album and go shop the album, to go like pop it out of your trunk, and
Right.
and like even with magazines and stuff, you know how hard it is at times to even get people to even like pay attention to what you're actually doing.
Right. But I feel like nowadays, magazines are digital, and people probably, it's not probably as popular as it used to be. You know what I mean? But I like it because it can be a form of merchandise for you. So for me, I wanted to be able to have it at my merch table. So, I've ordered, and I've actually sold out of copies, but I have some, but I'll have to reorder some more. But usually I'll just reorder, 10 copies or whatever. And then, then I'll sell them live, at my shows. And you can actually get an actual magazine when you come and see me perform live. You'll be able to buy a copy of the magazine. And that's kind of what my focus on getting back into the magazine for, you know what I mean? Just so I could be able to have the physical copies and able to give them to some of my fans and my people that come out to see me that actually would love to have it as a collector's item or anything like that. So I think it's really a good form of promotion now, opposed to what it used to be meant for back in the days,
Oh, facts. Yeah, because a lot of people don't actually take those extra steps, in branding themselves. And when I look at you, it's just like there's a drink.
Yeah.
You want your kush. You got, you got your clothing. You
Right.
got the magazine. You're
Right.
like you're there. Like everything is just presented, and a lot of people don't understand what the importance of that in the game is. I know I do a lot of shows where, and that's the things where people got to stop looking at the majors compared to underground shows, because underground shows, you're selling everything. Like, it's just like, if that nigga wants that T-shirt off you right there and to sign it for $100, you'll give it to him. And
Oh,
it's,
You know what? Somebody just stopped me the other day and they wanted to buy this from me off my net. Right? And he's like, dude, I'll pay whatever I'll get. I'm like, where'd you get that from? I'm like, California, they don't really, I'm like, nah. He's like, I'll pay how much you want for it. I'm like, nope. You know what I mean? It's not even no money that can actually buy this. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just, this was, for a collection of these hats that I have that I bought, like these were part of a collection. So I didn't want to sell it to him, but I thought about, you know what I mean? But no.
Oh, yeah.
But you're right. You never know when people want your product or people want stuff, from you, and you can make money doing your music. And that's what a lot of people don't really take serious,
Yeah, they don't take anything in product marketing and advertisings and stuff. Like
they take it serious, but I think some people think that it just costs too much, if that makes
okay. There's the people who take it serious because the companies are actually sending them the shit. So they're actually just getting the shit for just doing shit. Yeah. And then there's people who are actually investing in the shit that understands, like, I got to go after those people to go do that shit for me too. So, you know what I mean? Like, I learned a lot of things when a lot of the marketing that I've been doing with some of the artists lately is that even TikTok to a lot of things, influencers, everybody is a target now. And if you're doing something, people will pay you to actually market and promote it. It's like I get hit up with it all the time. If you want to throw this promotion in there, or can you advertise this, or can you wear this? It's wicked because, hey, Like if you want to fly me out somewhere and I get to wear your shit and go smoke your shit and go sit there and just play
Right.
at your shit,
Uh-huh.
like I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and
That's where everything is going now. You know what I mean? That's where everything is kind of pretty much, you know, it's going to take that turn to the future of different type of brandings and aid to, you know what I mean? Like you said, wear people's stuff, come over here, do that. You know what I mean? And like you said, the influencers, you know, it's like they're changing the game a little bit, and it's kind of messing it up for a lot of artists, low key, you know.
well, if you know a lot of like, because now
Because
as an artist, you can,
like you're in the entertainment, but you're not in entertainment. So now that you know what I mean. So now that you have artists that have to do, now you have artists that have to do different things just to, you know what I mean. And it's just like,
oh yeah, it's just like being a DJ
come
now,
on.
and then
Now we're taking it, you know what I mean? Now you got some of these artists looking like goofies, bro. Like, like,
you know what? Okay. I'm glad that you touched base on this because I wanted to start like this is good. What do you think about the stuff that you see half of these artists wearing now? Like, I understand the whole, you know, bringing back the era of the Rick James and the, you know, and all that other stuff and everything. I get it because those guys wore sequences and everything and all that. I get it, but like, where's there a limit?
You know what? It's one of those type of things where it's like, for some people, it's hard for them to really make a comment on it. For say like me, for example, it would be hard for me to make a comment and a judgment on it without being one of those, one of those hypocrite type people. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? A female stud, you feel me? So I've always wore boy clothes. I've always rocked, you know, I've always been a tomboy. I've always had the swag. So is it different because they want to wear, you know,
outlandishly,
you know, so I can't be mad at it in that aspect of a way. They can do what they want. That doesn't bother me. But
right.
What bothers me is just how it's being fed to the media. And that's what bothers me, because you don't see them ever feeding any stud or female type in the media at all. You know what I mean? They try to make sure they hide from that. You know, they hide from that, and we've been doing that for years before. You know, so but it's okay for dudes. Let's glorify it. Let's put it out there. Let's throw it out there. Let's have more. Let's do thousands of them. Let's have more. Like, okay, well, I mean, I understand that, but you're doing a little bit too much as far as the media goes. You know what I mean? As far as the media goes, I don't really like how they
exploit it.
Yeah,
they exploit it a lot because.
But I don't mind doing what they do. You feel me? But the way they exploit that section of it is not cool. You know what I mean? If they're gonna do it, they should do it all, everywhere. You know, everybody, not just, you know. But that's just how I think.
Hey man, Tyler Creator said it the best the other day, man. He goes, "Y'all paved the way for me to do whatever I want. Wear this hat." like plain and simple. Like, you know, sometimes, and I get it, because a lot of the rappers in the game, people never understood that putting yourself like being out there, like, you know, like, and there's certain ways of being out there.
Yeah,
you know, like when you got to go to these events, you got to stand out, and you got to stand out on everybody. You know what I mean? And then there's some people who have like fly ass outfits, but you'll never see those outfits because they're just fly ass outfits. Yeah. You know what I mean? If they're not revealing it out there, like, you know, it's like if you're just wearing like, say, like a sticker on each titty and your ass and the front, and you walk into a party, that's big news.
But I think you got to put yourself out there as in, you know, one of those type of people, though. You know what I mean? If you're not out that, then the people won't look for it. You know what I mean? So it depends on how there's certain people fashion that you know, you've always seen them with good fashion that you might tap into. So you got to kind of put your stuff in that position where you just have dope fashion. You know what I mean? There's some people that you know, from different areas. You know what I mean? You could go to football and know, oh, okay, I know certain ones that got that swag right, or basketball, I know some certain ones that got that swag right, or even rap. Oh, I know who always got that swag right. You know what I mean? And sometimes you might just tap into some, you know what I mean? There's a new one that I'll be keeping my eye on now that I'll be watching. I've been looking at Gunna's fashion a lot. Like Gunna really be having his little fashion. Like he got some cool little taste, like with his swag. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes, I think you have to put yourself in that area to kind of be, you know what I mean? To kind of be in that little fashion niche of the world. You know what I mean? That's kind of like, I like fashion a lot. If you don't talk about fashion, you know what I mean? And you're not really about the fashion, then nobody's going to be looking for you in that one outfit that you put out, that you wore once a year. You know what I mean? Like, no one's checking for that one. You know what I mean? Like,
facts. Like, you know, like, and even especially with social media now, you got to switch up all the time. Like, once you take a picture, that outfit's done. Like, it's like
that's what's crazy too. You know, I'm not a selfie person. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to be. You feel me? I got too much stuff to do. You got to have a different outfit every day to do selfies the way these people do selfies. You know what I mean?
Man, I just brand myself. I wear my shit.
Yeah, but I like the fashion though. Fashion and music. You know, a lot of, you know, everybody kind of gravitates to the music and the rap, so it's easy for us to tap into different areas. You know what I mean? From sports to fashion to, you know, any other thing, because everybody kind of likes the rap music world. So it's good to tap in everywhere.
Well, you know, fashion has been a huge thing in hip hop. Like everything from like extra baggy pants to now, like, you know, some wear fitted, some wear skinnies. Everybody's doing their own thing these days. It's all a different game now. It's like it's being yourself right now, and that's basically what I love about hip hop.
Yep. Be yourself. That's my main thing. Just be yourself. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I can always say. Just be yourself. Don't let nobody, you know, stop you from doing it. Sometimes I run into a lot of artists, and they're, you know, they sometimes they want to put out music, but then they don't, because they feel like, oh, well, I rap like how I used, you know, the older, like it's not like how it is today. Matter. Stick in your lane, just do what you do. Like, don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Just,
well, people don't understand. There's people still looking for them. There's people still looking for that music. Like, that not the whole world is turned on to this, and that's what a lot of people don't understand.
Right? You know, everybody. You know, there's a lot of people. It's like half and half. You got like a lot of the half of the people that like all the old school stuff that kind of don't want to, like, you know, get part of the new wave, and then you got the other half that's just part of the new wave. You know what I mean? So it's just like, no matter what you do, it's as long as you just do music, like, just do it, just drop it. Like, you'd be surprised. Like, you never know until you try, and I think that's just what it is with me. A lot of people just don't just do it, just try it. You never know. I mean, I don't know. You can't. What are you gonna do? Cry because it doesn't work? I mean, dude, just try it. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, that's what I do. I'm more of a try it and see what happens. You know what I mean? You never know, you know? You gotta take a chance sometimes.
So tell me about Watch Me Float.
Watch Me Float. Okay. That's another thing that, like, I feel like I listen to a lot of female artists and stuff. And I don't know, it's crazy because females are like some of the biggest heavy weed smokers on the planet. And I don't understand why we don't love, and why ain't no females got their own, and why the females is the one that's pushing the females is the ones. If you want to know from back in the day to who day, what day, we can everybody know what game you want. Any game you want, it's always been a top female in that game.
Oh yeah.
I don't care if you're talking about, you know, Snow White to Flowers. Always been a female that he could do some. Why the female get left out? So I'm a weed smoker. I'm very heavy with it, you know. So I represent for the females that can smoke. You know what I mean? So this is called Watch Me Float. You know, it's a Watch Me Float song. It's a weed song. You know, so I'm always tapping into the different strands of weed songs. You know what I mean? So you will always get a song.
Oh yeah. I need your whole weed catalog, because that's going to my library. I need that ASAP.
I have so
like, you don't understand. I need it all, because I do a lot of weed events, and all I play is weed tracks. So I need that. Well, let's get into this.
Yeah.
It's about to go down. This is a DJ Disspare exclusive.
Smoking on purple gelato, calling the plug for the Ria. Smoking that fire, smoking that la-la. I get to the bag, get to the dough, get to the drip, get to the flow, get to the grind, get to the money, don't fuck around. Now watch me flow, smoking on purple gelato, calling the plug for the Ria. smoking that fire, smoking that la. I get to the bag, get to the dough, get to the drip, get to the flow, get to the grind, get to the money, don't fuck around. Now watch me see me on the boss, they watch me flow. See me on the ground, they know I go. Don't fuck around, better have my dough, better come with it, better sauce with it. If you see a young boss, don't run from a hot girl, hot girl. It's a hot summer, light it up, roll it up, blaze it up, now flow. You wanna match one, then it's on sight. Smoking that OG dynamite, smoking that KK, smoking that gelato. Just watch me flow, blowing your brain to oblivion. I'm on flow like helium. I hear that shit, I ain't feeling it. Don't fuck up my highway, see yeah. Smoking on purple gelato, calling the plug for the Ria. Smoking that fire, smoking that la la. I get to the bag, get to the dough, get to the drip, get to the flow, get to the grind, get to the money, don't fuck around, now watch me flow. Smoking on purple gelato, calling the plug for the Ria. Smoking that fire, smoking that la la. I get to the bag, get to the dough, get to the drip, get to the flow, get to the grind, get to the money, don't fuck around, now watch me flow.
Fuck around, watch me flow. Hey.
So, what's your favorite strain of weed?
You know what's so funny? It would really be hard to say what's my favorite strand, only because there's so many other strands that I would like to try that I haven't tried yet.
Yep.
So
you haven't
it's
been to
really
Canada,
hard.
so.
Yeah. So what happened was I was looking at some potency the other day, and some rap artists have some strands that have some insane potency that I would love to try.
What do you mean? What's the highest?
And Ice Cube is one of them.
What's his highest?
I think his was like 48%, bro. I was like, you gotta be killing. Yes, 48%. He broke the record. Dude, his scale was crazy. I was like, what? I never even had it. So yeah. So there's some brands out there. I would like to try some of Burner's brands, you know what I mean? But the only one that I really think that I probably could say that probably was the killer that I tried, that probably was the dopest, was Wiz Khalifa's KK. Oh my gosh.
You ever tried Dizzy's?
No, but I've seen he's up there too. He's up
him
there.
him and Kendrick and them and Hoffa, like,
Yeah,
all of that. Like,
there.
I love my dudes right now because everybody's weed is like fire. Because they were out here smoking, like he was out here smoking with us, and I had this one that was like, I think it was 40%, and it was like it 39-40, but it was like ridiculous.
38.
Like, it messed it
like 38.
Yeah,
I think his was like up there, 36 or 38. Like his was like, I think he had 2 different strands that were like up there.
Nice.
And I was like, okay, I didn't even really know. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, I didn't really know the game. Like, so yeah, I just learned about that like the other day. So yeah, so now there's probably like so many that I haven't tried. So right now I probably say KK Wiz Khalifa's is probably the best that I've had probably in like a good year or so. You feel me? And nothing's beating that right now.
You see, that's the thing is like this is like do you dab?
Yes.
All right. So what's your favorite in concentrates? Do you like shatter, live rosins,
that's a good
hash rosins? Like,
I would probably say wax.
Wax?
Yep. I mean, I do chatter too, and chatter is cool, but like I don't know, I feel like I like wax better.
The wax is better than the butter.
Yeah. I've been on chatter for like lately, for like the last like couple months, and it's cool, but I like wax better because wax seems like it does better for me. Like I like the real wax. Like I'm just the OG, you know what I mean? I just like the wax.
Sugar wax, or the sugar wax, or the regular wax?
Like, regular. Yeah. Because I like it crumbly. I don't like it too crumbly like that. I like it more. I like it when it's like the gummy-ish, like where it's like way like, whoa, like I like.
Oh yeah, I love that. Like, you see, that's the thing. I gotta ask sometimes because a lot of people say, I'm just like, but really? It's just like, just like, so what's the most you've ever dabbed?
I'm not a dabber like that. Probably just like a regular freaking a half a little G, like whatever they give you at the shop for free, like them little thingies, man. I'm cool. My man, you know, my little chest be can't. Yeah, I'll be for a minute. Like I'm cool, you know.
So blunts or papers?
Yeah, it's just a little bit too much, you know. But you know, I take it lightly. But you know, I'm not too like I don't do a lot at a time. You know, I'm more of a spread out type. You know?
Blunts or papers?
Oh, good question. See, well, like they're gonna kill me. I do blunts, but see, look, okay, like I do blunts, but like I do the wraps too. So I do the organic wraps. I like those. Yeah. So I usually do like the natural leaves. So I do a lot of natural leaves. I don't do like swishers. I do natural leaves, and everybody wants me to convert. And don't get me wrong, you know what I mean? It's cool, but I just feel like I don't know. I just haven't converted yet.
So you use the grab a leaf.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You know, like that's what because that's what I learned about from a lot of guys out there, and a lot of you know female artists, people I know in the game. Everybody has their own type of like. Most of the people gravitate to the leaf because the leaf has got the tobacco plus it's got the softness and the sweetness when it comes down to rolling it. Most of the guys out here just break that up and put it in their weed. So it's like when I saw actual people rolling blunts in the gravel leaf. Yeah. It was a whole different like game plan on some of the people's heads around me because they never seen that. So
yeah, it's just straight leaves. Like I don't know. If not the leaves, then you know I do the organic wraps. But well, actually they're like CBD wraps. I don't even know what the difference or what's going on. CBD vegan wrap. I don't understand, but. No, nowadays things are just different. But
I say the CBD wraps are cool, but it just takes away from the fact that CBD actually cures your high. Like it takes away.
I don't understand why are you putting CBD in a wrap though? Like
yeah, I understand. But
so that's you know what I mean? I'm kind of like, why are okay, whatever. Like, why are you putting CBD in a wrap if you're trying to roll THC?
That's like if you're trying to eat a carrot and pour Coke on it.
Right. I'm feeling like, okay, I'm like, I don't know. I was a little confused on why they even did it, but okay, whatever, you know. And so now I'm like vegan wraps. Like, okay, so are we eating them now? Like, vegan wraps. Like, we're eating the roaches after we're done? Like, why are they vegan? Like, I don't know. So nowadays, you know, like $1, I guess, you know.
So now what you got coming up in the next while? Like you got a comic book. So like what's like that is dirty. Like I'm really happy to hear that. Like what made you want to do that?
Well, it's inspired by Mars OG, which is the owner of Floater Culture brand, which is a brand I'm sponsored by. Shout out to my sponsors.
Salute.
And, you know, it's just something that they just feel that they wanted to do. So basically they did this comic book, which is going to be called Lost Tribe. BOSSALENA is a character in Lost Tribe comic book. And then from there, I will branch off and have my own comic book from that series. So I will end up having my own series from this original series. This original series will be coming out real soon. It's called Lost Tribe, which features BOSSALENA. And it's going to be dope. It's going to be like, you know, I don't want to let y'all know about it too much, but it's going to be some cool, dope, you know, some cool, dope animation. You know what I mean? It's very live. So within the next 4 or 5 months, that book will probably be out.
Nice.
And then I have a project dropping. I have a project dropping in like 3 weeks called Female Dawn Reloaded. So basically you have Female Dawn Volume 10. I put a collection together of some stuff that's not on Spotify or not on your iTunes, but it will be on your Spotify and it will be on your iTunes. And it's called Female Dawn Reloaded. And so that's going to be that official finish to Female Dawn. And you'll get all that. That'll drop in 2 weeks. I'm having a release party for that November 14th. After that, just shows. A lot of music, a lot of shows, a lot of radio interviews, a lot of promotion. You know, just put promotion on Female Dawn Volume 10, Female Dawn Reloaded, the magazine, my sodas, my drinks. You can go to my store, BOSSALENAstore.com. You can purchase t-shirts, hats, sodas. You can get, if you want the magazine, you can order a magazine. I can get that sent out to you too. Just working. A lot of work.
Man, I'm very happy to see what you accomplished and where you are. I want to give you your salute right now. Like, this is it's an honor to have this interview with you. Because a lot of people are, sleeping on the female bosses of the game.
Yeah.
The studs of the game, the ones that, put in that work, like everything is not all about all that glamour and glitz all the time, and then the hustle's the hustle, and then this will lead to bigger things. This will lead to a lot of stuff in life. And, you're doing the groundwork. You're doing stuff that we're doing. Like there's only, I could say a collective of you that are actually having this mind state. You know what I mean? And I salute you 100 and I appreciate you and I'm happy for you to come by. Any shout outs you want to make?
I want to shout out all the DJs, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? What about the DJs? The DJs is part of this too, without you guys and you guys hosting these radios and hosting this stuff to keep us afloat, then, you know what I mean? It wouldn't be, we wouldn't be able to get out there and get our message and get our stuff and our point and our vibes and our across to the people in the world, you know what I mean? So I do want to shout out and thank all the DJs that just always, always out there working too. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody that deal with BOSSALENA. Shout out to my management. Shout out to Sarah. You already know how we do. You feel me? And yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, big shout out to Sarah. I'm really happy to be working with Triple P and, the family and everything. Everything has been amazing since I've been working with you guys. I'm glad I got to interview you. We have some more things coming in the future. Yeah. So I really appreciate you and, thank you for showing up.
Hey, thank you for having me.
We got the fire. Follow the world best DJ Disspare on Twitter, Facebook, and for mixtape hosting and bookings at DJ Disspare.